Everybody, are you ready for some Giants football? I hope you guys like that AI introduction I do. If you're new to my channel, I like using AI to make videos and stuff, and it's gonna be great because now what YouTube cracking down on using content from the networks and stuff like that and giving your channel a strike. It's going to be a lot better to do either simulations or to add fun to it. You know, if you notice that I got a change, I went from NFL 24/7 to now like a Giants fan homepage. My number one team, my number two team is the Jets, which we just had a scrimmage game or preseason game against, and then Buffalo Bills on the New York team. My wife is a Denver Bronco fan, so I like them, you know, as my fourth team. And then, of course, I just like, you know, KC a little bit. You know, probably just like watching them play and stuff, Kansas City. But moving on, I'm going to narrow things down to like mostly the Giants topics and focus on that. Before I was doing, everything was mostly off season, so I can grab a lot of information from a lot of different places and stuff to fill out that lag, you know, after the Super Bowl and that lag out there and stuff. So I'm gonna focus mostly on the Giants. I'm gonna make it fun, trivia questions. It could be Giants or anything in football, and other topics like that. The two things that are hitting the news now is Abdul getting knocked on his butt. It's a preseason game. It's one thing, but hey, with Twitter and everything, it lives forever, right? Unlike, you know, 20 years ago, if they show some clip, nobody would care. So maybe things are different now and stuff, you know, or messing up with somebody's jersey number, you know, getting the Sanders mixed up. One question I got for you is that an issue? You know, Barry Sanders, Shador Sanders, you know, getting those two mixed up, whatever. You know, should a news host know that if it's out of their generation? You know, if like for the next, if I start talking about Walt Clyde Frazier to let's say a new blogger, that person might not know who that is. Dean Memminger, you know, with the fancy layup, I got to watch them play. You know, I got to sit on the Knicks front floor while I was a little kid and watch them play live, you know, and stuff like that. So would a person that's younger know who these people are? You know, they see the jersey number, similar number, something like that. So for me, I don't take it that much difference, you know. So they talk about the person may be fired or they wasn't there, whatever. But that's what I want to do. So what I want to take this channel is that my main priority would be Giants news and updates. If I'm doing a live like I'm doing it now, it's more about emotion, how I feel about the game, how I feel about past games and stuff like that, to where if I'm using AI, it's probably to record the scores or to give you a professional looking wrap up, you know. I don't want to just rehash stuff, but it's just a quick update on things like that or news you may not know about. So you can go watch my old videos and see some of that. And it's getting more and more creative and better because AI is growing every week. But when it comes to, you know, my feeling towards the game, that'll be me. It's easier to do this live than it is to do AI, which could take days or weeks to actually get done. People think it's one click. Yeah, it's not that easy, not that simple. One of the downsides I talked about with AI is that it'll create a game for you. And if you're not paying attention, it'll, like, let's say I had the Giants versus the Cowboys, and this happened earlier. And the game that I watched wasn't the game that it created for me when I was doing my stuff, you know. I said, I'll let AI do it. And I listened to it. Like, that's not the game that I saw. You know, and I went back and asked ChatGPT, is this the real game or you make this up? It's like, I made it up. It did it twice. It did it my last video. It did it again. Do I just created people out of the blue, like people that passed away and stuff like that? Because I always do a thing, give me a list of people who passed away that's associated with football, and I didn't recognize none of the names. I went and looked them up so I could put the photos by, because sometimes I have the photos go with it, and none of the people existed. I went back after, I was like, hey, I can't find any of these people. ChatGPT is like, oh yeah, I just made it up. Man, I cursed that thing out. You know, so you gotta be careful with using AI for that, but mostly the live stuff would be about games, strategy, you know, maybe some trades and stuff like that. What should they do? I could tell you in the past, my biggest issue with the Giants was that they were always 3-0 because they wouldn't go long on the first play. They try to go long when they, you know, 9 yards back and then throw an incomplete pass. So my thing was always that in the past, when we had Saquon, was that our front line wasn't doing his job for him. Because you look at what happened when he had a strong front line. A lot of yards different, right? And different. Then he used that to shut down Kansas City in the Super Bowl because they focused on him, kept his yardage small, and that allowed Philadelphia to hit everybody else. Things like that. So I'm hoping that we get wide receivers, somebody who can catch the ball, and I think we have to go be more braver, especially in an opening, and start going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. And if you get a replacement, a substitute, and if gets hit or hurt, whatever, don't have them do that typical, okay, we're going to hand off. I mean, it's predictable. You look at the Giants front line, especially when they bring in a new quarterback, man, they want to go to that, that run game right away because they don't want to risk it. The guy's cold or something like that, But my issue with football has always been, why wait to put a substitute quarterback in who haven't played for weeks or sometimes a year, right? And all of a sudden expect them to perform. Why not have them take a couple of snaps somewhere, and especially if you have a good lead, something like that, or just to break the rhythm. I don't blame Jones. I'm like, wow, man, they got him timed, and they know when he's going to run. They know when he's going to do this. And, break it up a little bit. Throw the offense off. The defense off. But those are my things. That's what I like to do live. Is talk live. Is more passionate about the game, and that's what this is here for. Is for that you guys can come here, vent, cheer, whatever, describe your stuff. Even if you're not a Giants fan, you may be playing against us. You may want to tell me, hey, you guys suck, or you cheated or whatever, and create a conversation. That's what I want this channel to be about. It's not just going to be about rehashing what happened in the past, past news. Like you can see, that's all I had to go on was, off season. You have no choice, right? There's no games on. Okay. So I hope that you guys join my channel, follow me and stuff, right? Subscribe to the channel. Watch my videos, watch my old videos. One of the things that I tried to do last year was try to come up with what I called a platinum bowl, right? And that's where the two losers of the AFC and NFC face each other. It's sort of like they do in the Olympics, right? When you have Olympic basketball, you fight for, like, in the Olympic basketball, you fight for first or second, and then they fight for that bronze, right? Something like that. So nobody wants to be second in the Super Bowl, but you see what I'm saying? Where you have the two losing teams play a week before. That'll generate income. I'll probably redo that video again, and then this time I'll probably go with a petition. I know I sent it out to the NFL, football notables and stuff like that. I got no hit on it, but hopefully you guys will help me get that word out. Okay, this is Dr. Ron. Let's go Big Blue. Let's go for the Giants. Let's go for the G-Men. I'll catch you guys in the next video.